All right. Good day, everybody, and welcome to Headline Hits with LW. This is the first day of September, Thursday, the first day of September 2022. Not much in the news today. Be a little short, but we'll hit it real quick and throw a couple things out there at you. So, again, um, the hypocrisy. Joe Biden is out there saying that Republicans and conservatives are attacking police, that Republicans and conservatives are the problem here in this country. I've even heard the White House press secretary call out Marcy Taylor Greene and all these other people, Ron DeSantis, for inciting violence. They are even talking about the J6 and how we're all part of the problem and how Trump was part of the problem. But I got news for the left. We're not stupid and we're paying attention and we're going to call you out. So check this out. Bell Group, backed by Kamala Harris, helped free suspect now accused of murder. Left-wing bailout group, which helps pay bail for accused criminals, suspects that was promoted by Vice President Kamala Harris, helped free a man now accused of second-degree murder in St. Paul, Minnesota. In June of 2020, amid violent riots spurred by the Black Lives Matter movement, Harris urged Americans to donate money to the Minnesota Freedom Fund to help bail out rioters from jail. Now, if you guys want to read that article, you can catch it in Breitbart. Something else that the Democrats, the left, and we're going to call them out, they are wanting to do is they're wanting to turn all states into a non-bail state. What does that mean? Well, if you commit a crime, you should be able to get out of jail without having to post bond. No post bond bails is what they're talking about, and some cities have already done it. They're releasing criminals out onto the streets without any kind of bond, without any kind of bail. So, when they talk about the Republicans, when they talk about conservatives, and they're trying to, again, like John Estabrook said, incite us and tag us. They're trying to say that we're violent people and that we're criminals. I'm calling Kamala Harris out. You are the biggest criminal of all. You, Joe Biden, Nancy Pelosi, and the rest of all you guys, you're criminals. Criminals. All right, let's hit the next headline. Let's talk about North Korea. Just wanted to put this out there. Again, I'm not living in fear, but I found this a little bit concerning. So, North Korea has up to 5,000 tons of chemical warfare agents. Why am I bringing this up? Well, North Korea put out a statement just weeks ago and told their military to be prepared to go to war with the United States. That's what they said. I'm just putting it out there. North Korea is likely massed between 2,500 and 5,000 tons of chemical weapons, including extremely toxic nerve agents such as sarin. And recent years, according to these estimates published in a joint report on Tuesday by the RAND Corporation, from South Korea's Asian Institute of Political Policy Studies. It was also put out on the website of NK News, and they reported. So these nerve agents estimates that 1,000 kilograms of sarin attack could kill as many as 125,000 people in South Korea. So when you drop down in this article, which you can catch it in Breitbart, and you read a little bit more, chemical warfare agents are toxic chemicals that have been used in military conflicts since World War I, which was 1914 through 1918. The extreme danger associated with the use of chemical weapons in warfare spurred the United Nations in 1997 to establish the Chemical Weapons Convention, the CWC. The CWC is a multilateral treaty that bans chemical weapons and requires their destruction within specific periods of time, according to the Arms Control Association. The CWC is open to all nations and currently has 193 state parties. Israel has signed but has yet to ratify the convention. 3 states have neither signed nor ratified the convention, which is Egypt, North Korea, and South Sudan. And that is reported as a note in April of 2020. So, just something that we can feel the tension around the world. I reported yesterday about Taiwan firing live ammunition at drones that were crossing their airspace from China. There's still conflict going on with Russia and Ukraine. So here you have North Korea flexing their muscles as well. All right, next headline. Here you go. Trump responds to photos of documents released. Quote, lucky I declassified. Now, remember, I reported on this yesterday, and I told you guys there's so many red flags in the photos that they're putting out on social media to the public. This is the FBI putting this stuff out. You would think that the FBI would keep that stuff classified for their investigation, but they've sent out photos showing, and I'm going to read the article here in a minute, showing these classified or supposedly classified documents spread all over the carpet, all over the floor at Mar-a-Lago. So let's read what former president, well, he's not former to me, he is still my president. So I'm going to change that name in this article. I'm not going to use that F word. I'm going to say President Donald Trump responded to a photo allegedly classified documents released by government prosecutors in a court Tuesday evening related to the FBI's investigation into documents at Mar-a-Lago, saying they were declassified. So here you go. You got government prosecutors who filed this case Tuesday, and they're taking these photos and putting them out on social media. You got to ask yourself this question. Why would they do that? Well, it's only my opinion, but when you have a propaganda machine like lamestream media, like Facebook and the likes of them, you're putting out this propaganda to incite your own audience, which would be the left, which would be the Democrats, to say, oh, look at this. We caught him. We got all the evidence. That's what they're doing. Mark my words. Quote, terrible the way the FBI during the raid on Mar-a-Lago threw documents haphazardly all over the floor, perhaps pretending it was me that did it. This is coming from Trump. And then started taking pictures of them for the public to see. Thought they might want to keep a secret, question mark. Lucky I declassified. So there you have it. You would think that they would want to keep those photos under wrap, but like I said, they're putting it out there for a reason, people. The FBI raided Trump's Florida residence in August in search of classified materials after the NARA, which is the National Archives and Records Administration, told the DOJ that some material Trump had sent them in January of 2022 contained a lot of classified records, and the FBI suspected that there were more. This whole thing is a joke. Former Trump administration official Kash Patel told news media, including Breitbart News, in May of 2022 that documents handed over to the NARA may have been marked as classified, but they were already declassified by Trump. There you have it. I mean, that's really all that needs to be said. You see what they're doing. You see what they're trying to cause. So they're putting these photos out to their base to fire their base up, and in hopes that their base will turn around and incite you and incite me and incite the patriot movement to do something very foolish and stupid. So don't let it get to you, folks. This will all play out. All right, last 2 headlines for today. Check this out. I've been talking about this for a couple months now, and here it is starting to pop up in the news. Richmond Fed president says inflation isn't being, quote, masked, end quote, like it was a year ago. People are, quote, running out of money, end quote. On Wednesday's broadcast of West Virginia's Metro News, the Federal Reserve Bank of Richmond president and CEO Tom Birkin said that when there was inflation a year ago, people had money in their pockets. But now, middle and lower income people are running out of money. They're stressed and they're absolutely trading down, and inflation isn't being masked anymore. Barton stated that he expected to see people change their consumption habits in response to the inflation a year ago. But as you know, there was a lot of stimulus, which put money into people's pockets. And then COVID itself was a kind of stimulus because people couldn't spend money on certain things like getting a haircut. And also, you ended up spending money on goods. And so when inflation first started, prices went up, but people had money in their pockets and nobody liked it, but they shrugged their shoulders and said, "Okay, but I guess I can afford that." That's what's happening now. I think especially with the middle and lower class folks, they're running out of money. They're stressed and they're absolutely trading down. And so that's the kind of behavior you expect to see with inflation. And I just think it's was masked for a time and amount of money that people had in their pockets. Okay, with this article, you can catch it on Breitbart if you want to read more. That's pretty much the end of the article. What I want to say is the Fed is saying that America has now hit an all-time high for credit card debt. We're over $1 trillion with credit card debt. And everything that I've been reporting on suggests that we are heading into not only a depression, but an economic collapse. So you've got over $1 trillion of credit card debt that a lot of these people that are using their credit cards to go on vacations this year, to buy the things that they want to have, they can't pay that money back. And I'm not an expert, but I'm just telling you the writing is on the wall. All right, next headline. Last one of today. Report. FBI agents have, quote, lost confidence, end quote, in Director Wray. He's got to leave. So Director Wray, the head of the FBI, he's gone MIA a couple of times. We've reported on that. We've also talked about the Q drop that says trust Wray. I don't know what's happening with Director Wray. A number of FBI agents say that they have, quote, lost confidence, end quote, in Director Christopher Wray and are now calling for his resignation, according to a report. Former FBI agent Kurt Sudaka, an attorney who represents whistleblowers, said agents have told him, quote, feel like director has lost control of the bureau. And that is reported from the Washington Times. They're saying he does this guy survive. He's leaving. He's got to leave. That's what all of these whistleblowers are saying. And the report of race suffering reputation among rank and file agents comes just after senior FBI official Timothy Tabalet left the bureau last week. If you guys remember, he was escorted out of the building. He claims that he's leaving on his own accord, but some people are suggested that he was pushed out. So Senator Chuck Grassley, the Republican from Iowa, the lead Republican in the Senate Judiciary Committee, has filed several FBI whistle allegations and was the first to shed light this year on some of those leveled against Taliban. So let's see what else in this article that I wanted to bring up. It looks like Representative Jim Jordan has had over 14 different whistleblower agents come into his office within the last year and tell them that things are not looking good in the FBI. So I don't know. More headlines for the FBI. It definitely does not look good for them. They have been caught lying. They've been caught being biased. They've been caught in what happened of November 2020. Is there going to be a collapse of the FBI? Will Chris Wray step down? Will the FBI either be dissolved or tore down and rebuilt? I know there's a lot of talk about that. I know there's a lot of talk out there about getting rid of a lot of federal agencies, including the IRS. All right, that's all we have for today. Check back in this evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I will be live tonight. Love you all. God bless. See you this evening.